Hey everyone. As Spooky Month / Great Pumpkin Month / Skeletons Month comes to a close, I realized I should probably make some sort of Chaos Galaxy Halloween video. You know, 3 weeks late. Today I shall be talking about the Ghatomics and how they evoke horror. What is their story? Links to the Discord and the official YouTube channel are down below. And without further ado, let's begin. Starting with what we do know, Zach gives a general explanation of the Ghatomics story in his video.
Basically, it's based around this innocent Cindean creature called Gi, and upon entering the planet Cindel, he can mutate and transform into a group of terrifying Cindel creatures called the Ghatomic creatures, which are kind of nuclear radioactive mutants that Gi turns into. And when Gi turns into one of these creatures, he gets some very powerful abilities.
Now, I initially theorized that the mutations were different Cindean creatures, but Zach said otherwise. However, even with this statement, I am going to assume that there are more than one mutated Cindean creatures in the wasteland. There are many factors in why these creatures are horrifying. For one, their art is somewhat disturbing. If you look at Goka, the sludge monster is coming out of his mouth, as you can see from the teeth. A common feature is the looks of anguish across every Ghatomic's face, further telling signs that this isn't normal. Gi's ability activates when it's killed, almost like you're allowing him to die for the amalgamations to latch onto him. Worse, each Ghatomic benefits from it, even if the art shows the host thinking otherwise. There are also cards that can cycle Gi, like Go, which seems like a time loop or cycle that plagues this poor creature. Horror is a fascinating subject. Stephen King, according to this random internet guy's post, defines horror as either a gross out, seeing something scary, or feeling the suspense of the moment. Although Zach's style is far from gruesome, the simple drawings still seem to evoke uneasiness from me and others. Of course, not much suspense can be made due to the medium being cards and lore. However, another horror aspect is the fear of the unknown, which is something Chaos Galaxy excels at with its simple lore. It allows people to theorize. What exactly happened to the wasteland? Where are the creatures roaming now? Let's move on. If the Ghatomics are all different Cindean creatures, it would mean that all of them had names. I think the names are already in the titles of the cards. Ghatomic Goka was once a red Cindean creature named Goka, now with a green doppelganger. Goopadoop was a blue creature named Goop, who seems to be turning into the warp trees of the forest, possibly slowing it down until it becomes a tree. Does this mean all of the trees were once normal creatures? Gork was a white creature, until it stepped into some red liquid and became a two-faced monstrosity, which makes it similar to Two-Face from Batman. Gerbilgren was once simply named Gren, before green vine-like tentacles burst from the inside. Gristle was once named Gris, until growing crystals that corrupted its body, which its teal color makes sense, actually, as the Cindel's core color is teal. And finally, there was Gi, and, well, it's pretty obvious what happened here. To sum it all up, I present to you an immersive story for this archetype. The War of Cindeus had split the planet in two and left a devastating impact on the land of Cindel. When the planet tore, it released volumes of radioactive waves into the atmosphere, and as a result, a large portion of the Cindel land was mutated, transforming the already hellish landscape into a deformed wasteland. Not even the most chaotic Cindel creatures stepped into what remained. However, Cindean citizens were not as wary of the horrors that lined the edge of Cindel. Some got stranded after the war, and oblivious to the many warning signs strewn across the path, they walked into the strange trees. The nuclear energy shifted their cell structures, and combined with the evil aura of the planet, the creatures turned into monstrous mutations galore. They would mesh and mold together with liquids. They would spew out with tentacles, sprout wings, burst out like parasites making evil counterparts. and even fuse with the crystals from the depths of the planet. One time, a creature named Guy walked in and mutated so badly it became a monstrous amalgamation of toxic waste and undead parts, thus putting it at a place of power among the others. Their lack of wit has caused them excruciating pain, and they must endure these new bodies forever, and never in control. They walk around mindlessly awaiting the day in which they will escape the maze of the warped forest and wreak havoc on the rest of the planet. But for now, suffering is the only feeling these creatures have. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, comment what you would like to see next. And remember that happiness is a warm puppy.